Hello and welcome to Atop the Fourth Wall, where bad comics burn. Last year, I took a look at the comic adaptation of the abysmal movie Batman and Robin. You might remember it because I killed the Bat credit card joke! And yeah, I've read your critiques of it. But he'd still have to sign up for a Bat credit card and reveal his true identity. It's so traceable! No, he wouldn't. 1. Batman has a number of false identities. Dude's a genius and he could easily cover his tracks. You think credit card fraud is beyond him? 2. As I said in that episode, shell companies. Corporate credit cards are a thing. You could just have it be Batman Incorporated or something and it would still work. Coincidentally, there is a comic called Batman Incorporated. One of the things I mentioned in that review is that I feel that in a weird way, the 4 Batman movies from 1989 to 1997 do have a character arc for Bruce Wayne throughout them. This may seem a bit at odds with the fact that the 2 Joel Schumacher films are so tonally different from the Tim Burton movies, but hey, the fact that we have recurring elements and actors throughout all 4 shows there is a connection between them. And of course, the best way to talk about this character arc is to talk about the movies. So let's dig into Batman, the official movie adaptation.
Hey!
Nostalgia critic? What the hell are you doing here? How did you even get in here?
I have my ways. Gonna go bug your roommate.
It's okay, you're the 3rd one this week. At least you're not from space.
You made me stand in the corner for months after you broke the Bat credit card joke!
Oh please, it's not like you were gonna use that time for anything worthwhile.
I could have been doing more reviews!
Oh yeah, I'm sure everyone was begging you for a clipless review of Captain America Civil War. Tell me, do you remember when you used to be nostalgic?
I'm sorry we can't all have your integrity, Mr. Bad Comic Reviewer. What did you cover these last 2 weeks? An anime and a puppet movie?
Look, what the hell are you doing here?
Do you know how many crossovers we've done? Superman 4, Alone in the Dark, Star Trek Insurrection, Blood Rain?
Oh, by the way, lots of people have been asking us to do another Uwe Ball movie.
Shut up! The point is, you keep getting in my way, interrupting my show to do these crossovers. So now, I'm gonna interrupt your review to do a crossover for a change.
Why the hell would I agree to that?
2 words. Ad revenue.
So let's dig into Batman, the official movie adaptation, and see how it compares to the film.
It won't be as good.
Shut up.
Welcome to Atop the Fourth Wall, where bad comics burn. Linkara's gonna teach you all a lesson you won't learn. Brodsky, you're not the smartest. Life out, you're not an artist. Anyone who's had a bad comic published, it could be your turn. Linkara, he's a man punch, wears a birdie hat. Linkara, he has a magic gun. Where'd he purchase that? Linkara, coins, robots, Amazon and trucks. Linkara, this comic sucks. Linkara.
The cover is... Hey, stop that! Give it! I hold the comic!
I can't review it if I can't see it!
I'll just describe it for you, you jerk!
Okay. We'll both hold it.
Fine.
This is awkward.
Yeah, I agree, we'll just switch off.
Okay.
The cover is okay, a wraparound for the Prestige format book.
That sure is a bunch of words you just said.
I'm so glad I have you here to help me with this review. Featuring Batman on a parapet while the ghostly faces of the main characters haunt the sky, including himself as Bruce Wayne. Funny thing is, if you swing the camera over to the right, you'd see Nightcat hanging out with her 3 cats.
Maybe these aren't his ghostly sky faces, but the gargoyles. That thing looks like it's going through some issues. I also love how the Joker is looking right at the reader as he laughs. It's like he's saying, "You really paid $5 for this?"
Ha! There's also a film strip on the back depicting panels of the comic, lest we forget the big letters on the top of the cover that tell us this is the official comic adaptation of the movie.
Gee, I don't know if I'll remember this as a movie adaptation by the time we hit the first page. There we go! Have the first page be yet another film strip showing the opening scene of the movie. Also, a huge crowd of people in the theater watching the movie! And again, maybe they're all actually looking at the film strip exploding into the theater and they're all too high on whatever turned them blue.
What's happening in the film strip is a family exiting out of a theater trying to get somewhere, but unable to hail a cab. And hey, unlike the movie, it doesn't feature what is presumably a prostitute hitting on the little kid.
Turn the page, and immediately the father is knocked out unconscious by a robber. The robber and his partner run off with the father's wallet, warning them to not scream. Later, they're examining what they stole.
Alright, American Express. Don't leave home without it. That's the way to do product placement. It's so good that criminals will beat you up to get their hands on it.
This movie's just jealous that American Express was endorsed by Superman and Jerry Seinfeld.
I've forgotten my wallet.
I can't carry money in this. I'm powerless. I'm not.
One of the crooks wants them to leave, having heard rumors about fellow criminals having been attacked by the Bat. The Bat? Gimme a break. There ain't no bat. There is, however, a guy eating a lot of Pringles based on these sound effects.
Upon hearing the footsteps, the two run off. Right into Batman. Man, nice job, guys. You hear something suspicious and you run towards it.
Batman knocks one out, cutting out the bit from the film where he appears to be immune to bullets, and hangs the other over the edge of the roof. Don't kill me! Don't kill me! You're trespassing, rat breath.
Turns out Batman's just a security guard with a goofy uniform. Trespassing? You don't own the night.
He's right, you know. Lovers own a strict intellectual property grip on the night.
Tell your friends. Tell all your friends. I am the night.
I am the night!
Jesus, how'd you get that on so fast?
I'm Batman.
You're a weirdo. Speaking of weirdos, the guy goes from "don't kill me" to "you don't own the night." Guy's got balls. Anyone threatening to drop me from a tall building dressed like that can own whatever the hell he wants. I ain't gonna debate.
We cut to gangster Jack Napier watching an announcement on TV about the new district attorney, Harvey Dent, starting a war on crime through Jack's boss, Carl Grissom. Jack is having an affair with Grissom's wife, Alicia. You look fine. I didn't ask.
It's the warm compassion that attracts her to him. Back over to the robbers, they're being wheeled away in an ambulance as a reporter, named Knox, comes to ask the police about sightings of a dark figure in the shape of a bat.
Knox was invented for the movie, originally even supposed to die in it, but the producers loved the character so much they decided to make him live. He's actually quite likable as a smarmy, snarky, put-upon character, and I'm surprised that he hasn't made the leap over to comics before. Maybe a rights issue? I don't know.
Lieutenant, is there a 6-foot bat in Gotham City? If so, is he on the police payroll? If so, what's he pulling down, after taxes?
If he has health insurance, does he go to a veterinarian? The officer he was talking to, Eckhart, slips into an alleyway to talk with Jack Napier. In the movie, it's to get a payoff. Here, he's just randomly taking a walk. Jack implies Eckhart better respect him because of what could happen in the future. You mean when you run the show, you got no future, Jack? You're an A1 nut boy and Grissom knows it.
I think of myself more craft original nut boy than A1. After the two separate, Eckhart wonders aloud about something. Where you been spending your nights, handsome?
Handsome? Oh, that's cute. He's got a crush on him. Over to the Gotham Globe, Knox has a visitor. Hey, Knox, someone to see you. Someone. Someone.
It's Vicky Vale, a photographer who wants to help Knox on the Batman story.
Including Vicky is fine in the story. She's an established Batman character and all. The problem is, as much as I like Knox, it kind of makes Knox superfluous in the story. You could have just made Vicky the reporter and really changed nothing aside from their banter. And it's good banter, but Knox doesn't actually do anything in the story after this.
No one believes Knox's Batman story, so they need to get some proof, hoping to confront Commissioner Gordon at a benefit party Bruce Wayne is holding.
There's a minor edit in the next scene where Grissom wants Jack Napier to destroy the record books at Axis Chemicals so they can't be connected back to them.
Yeah, they leave out Grissom calling him his number one guy, so we don't have the callback to it later. Also, this.
Don't forget your lucky deck.
Thanks.
However, Grissom knows about the affair, so decides to tip off Eckhart about the break-in so Jack will be killed.
At Bruce Wayne's party, the two reporters aren't able to get anything out of Gordon, who encourages them to go look at Bruce Wayne's weapon collection. For some reason.
I especially encourage you to go look at his deadly bee weapon.
Bees? My God.
It's here where they meet Bruce Wayne, and Vicky seems a bit charmed by him, but Bruce is called away by Alfred because of Commissioner Gordon's own sudden departure. In the Batcave, Bruce sees a taped conversation of a police officer talking to Gordon and informing him of the raid on Axis.
At Axis Chemicals, the office records have already been cleaned out, and they spot the police in the parking lot. Eckhart even tells the police to shoot to kill, which is why, when the police come in, they yell at the gangsters to freeze. Then again, it is Eckhart we're talking about. They probably have learned to ignore what he says, especially when he keeps calling everybody handsome.
Commissioner Gordon arrives and takes charge. I want him taken alive! I repeat, any man who opens fire on Jack Napier will answer to me! I just want Jack Napier to hear that while we are not gonna shoot at him, he's free to shoot at us!
Man, I really hope police radios are invented soon. This is kind of awkward. Batman arrives and begins dealing with the other criminals, even being spotted by the cops now. Jack, seeing Eckhart down below, shoots him. Eckhart, think about the future.
But I got no future, Jack! Batman reaches Jack, who shoots him, but the bullet just deflects off his cape?
Batman's cape is so bulletproof it can make bullets just bounce off it? Sheesh, maybe instead of learning all the martial arts, he should just ball up and let everyone shoot themselves with the ricochets. Anyway, the bullet bounces back and hits Jack across the face, causing him to fall off the scaffolding into a vat of chemicals.
However, after Batman flees the police, we see a hand emerging from the chemical plant's sewer runoff. Jack Napier is the Toxic Avenger.
Later, Bruce and Vicky are having dinner in his comically large dining room where, of course, the dining room table means they're sitting really far apart. My question is, why did it take them so long to notice that? Also, Vicky asks Bruce to pass the salt, and an entire panel is devoted to a close-up of Bruce's face saying, sure. Why didn't anyone making the comic notice that was weird?
She asks him if he likes eating here. You know, I don't think I've even seen this room before.
I gotta be honest, most nights I just order pizza and veg out in front of the TV. I'm not very interesting.
The two walk off, presumably to his bedroom, and Vicky makes the observation that the house and all the stuff in it don't seem like him. It's part of the character arc thing I described. The first movie establishes this Bruce Wayne as someone disconnected from his own life as Bruce Wayne. He doesn't eat in his own dining room, he didn't attend the announcement of Harvey Dent as DA, trouble sleeping, etc. It's fairly obvious stuff in this first installment, but as Knox would later say in the movie, what do you think seeing your parents murdered right in front of you does to a person? Fills one up with anger and makes you reject a regular life and all its trappings in favor of one you create, where some muggers who attack a helpless family won't get away with their crimes? Honestly, it's more surprising that Batman didn't murder those two at the beginning, given how this version of Batman is more willing to kill. Still, the developments there I'll get into when I cover Batman Returns and Batman Forever and... Critic? Critic, where the hell are you?
So for the sketch, I was thinking something like Walter White in Star Trek? I don't know, something like that. We'll work into Batman somehow.
What are you talking about?
For the skit part of the episode.
I don't do skits in my show.
Sure you do. They're at the end of your videos all the time. You fight robots with Power Rangers crap.
Dude, those aren't skits. That actually happens to me.
What?
I am regularly attacked by mad scientists, my own doppelgangers, and monster gods from other dimensions. I live in fear that my next review will be my last because forces far more evil and far more powerful than I am have a personal grudge against me. I was possessed by a Lovecraftian deity for years, and only recently have my friends been able to free me, and we are currently in the middle of implementing a plan that will hopefully stop it before it devours us all.
So you go through incredibly harsh and traumatic events and put them at the end of your review show?
Yeah.
Are you reenacting them?
There are cameras all over the place. Poyo edits them in.
I don't think I would do something like that.
Really? Then how do you explain those?
Perhaps we should get back into the review.
Walter White in Star Trek?
He's bald, I'm bald, Picard is bald, it makes sense!
Vicky and Bruce kiss.
With lightning striking behind them! Sheesh, them kissing just got a big downvote from God.
Jack goes to a plastic surgeon to repair the damage the chemicals did to him, but of course the doctor who operated on him can only do so much, and he starts laughing at himself in the mirror. And we see the Joker's face here.
So this is where they reveal the Joker's face? Well, okay, that's fine, as long as they don't have the big reveal in front of Grissom. And we cut to the big reveal in front of Grissom. What the hell was the point of that? There's no point of filling up the whole panel with his face now? We just saw what he looked like! Well, technically we also saw it on the front of the cover, so I guess spoilers.
But yeah, the Joker figured out that Grissom set him up and shoots him a few times, splattering his blood all over a newspaper.
I think you mean splattering his Kool-Aid all over the newspaper. That's some very pink blood.
Maybe Grissom was secretly a Klingon. Winged freak terrorizes Gotham gangland. Watch it, Batman. Wait till they get a load of me.
I'll look great in wings.
We cut over to the Globe. Wait, does Knox work for more than one newspaper? Bruce said he liked Knox's work in the Gazette, but he's at the Globe now? In any case, because we cut out some scenes from the movie, like Bruce inexplicably hanging upside down while sleeping and him lying about what he was doing to Vicky, we now just have her pulling out Bruce's file at the Globe for no reason.
There's nothing in this file but social puffery. No photos, no history, nothing. Where's he get his money? What's he do all day? Who is he? Does Wayne Enterprises not exist in this continuity? What are the implications with those questions? That he just gets his money from being Batman?
Dude, merchandising! Did you see how much money this movie made? She follows Bruce as he lays down flowers for his parents at Crime Alley. Another cutscene is the Joker asserting control over the other gangs in Gotham, murdering one who refuses to play ball. As such, we just cut to a press conference of one of those crime bosses assuming control over Grissom's business interests, claiming that Grissom asked him to before he took a long vacation.
The Joker is there too and confirms the story. It's true. He raised his dead hand and signed the paper in his own blood. His own pink blood.
He kills the criminal with a feather to the neck, his goons dressed up like mimes and shooting into the crowd. Bruce says, it's him. Though the comic doesn't explain if he's referring to the Joker being Napier or being his parents' killer. In any event, later a press conference for the mayor ends up being about Batman, which pisses the Joker off something fierce. Batman! Batman! Can somebody please tell me what kind of a world we live in where a man dressed as a bat gets my airtime? The irritated cry of every other DC hero.
In the comic version, instead of the Joker having henchman Bob follow Knox around to see if he knows anything about Batman, and thus catching a photo of Vicky Vale, possibly the only real contributing aspect of the story, the Joker just sees Vicky on the TV being interviewed for what happened in the street and falls for her that way.
Another changed aspect was Grissom's wife. In the movie, she was tortured by the Joker in the name of his art until she was eventually driven to suicide. And in this version, the Joker just writes her off as going out the window. Was it suicide? Did he throw her out? Who the hell knows? She's gone from the story now.
The first part of the Joker's plan is revealed as a news report airs about mysterious deaths while laughing, when even one of the news anchors starts laughing and falls over dead. The broadcast is interrupted by the Joker revealing some sort of product responsible for this. Where can you buy these fine new items? Well, that's the deal, folks. Chances are, you've bought them already.
You're not fully dead until you're zestfully dead.
Herbal essences, yes! Yes! I'm dying, yes!
Vicky goes to a museum to meet Bruce for dinner. Only when Bruce gets a message she'll be late, he realizes he never made any date. She receives a present, a gas mask with a note on it. Dear V. Vale, put this on right now. Place under your lapel?
The entire room is gassed, leaving only Vicky alive. We are sadly spared the montage of the Joker entering and playing a Prince song while defacing a bunch of art. The Nicholson version of the Joker is all about being an artist, which is a bit odd, not in the interpretation of the character, but rather that it seems to come out of nowhere since it's not like Jack Napier was interested in art at all before he became the Joker. Still, as he tells it to Vicky, he's the world's first fully functioning homicidal artist. Which admittedly makes him harder to work with when it comes to honest criticism.
Vicky asks him what he wants. My face on the $1 bill. In the movie, this is just a bit of an odd aside, but in the comic, this is foreshadowing.
Batman comes down and grabs Vicky, swinging her away from the Joker with a grappling gun. Those toys. Where does he get those wonderful toys?
So I was going to make a joke about this being part of a toy commercial, but I actually looked up the toy commercials at the time. None of them use that line. The closest we get is a kid saying, where does he get those weapons? It's like, no.
They head out into the front of the museum and get into the Batmobile. And the Joker's goons don't follow him. Miss out on the entire fight scene between Batman and the goons. What the hell? In this, we don't even get to hear Bob the henchman tell the others to check his wallet. This is a kidnapping.
Looks like it.
Looks more like he rescued you from the homicidal maniac, but whatever. Less defensible is that he brings her to the Batcave, except he does so for no real reason this time. In the movie, it's because she took photos of him and he's trying to maintain the idea of being an urban legend and have no real proof of his existence.
So, yeah, in this case, it's a kidnapping. Anyway, he explains what products the Joker is using to poison people and which combinations of products will kill you. He wants her to give that info to the press. Why did you bring me here? You could have sent that information.
You're right. I could have. There is something else.
And he grabs her! Bad touch, Batman! Bad touch!
And then he gasses her.
I'm sorry. I was wrong to bring you here.
Look, sorry, I'm no good with women. I just wanted to try to impress you with all my cool stuff.
Can I get the nicer Batman mask?
No.
After the press announces what products are safe and which to avoid, Bruce goes to see Vicky, who's pissed at him because they haven't spoken in a while. We've skipped the part where Alfred encourages Bruce to tell Vicky the truth, so now he's just showing up out of the blue to tell her he's Batman. However, before he can get around to admitting that, the Joker shows up. Vicky's popular today.
Bruce tries to goad the Joker into a direct physical fight, but the villain says something to him.
You ever dance with the devil by the pale moonlight?
And with that, Bruce and the Joker bond over their favorite Star Trek Deep Space Nine episode.
He shoots Bruce and leaves, evidently satisfied with whatever he came there to do. Vicky runs back to see if Bruce is okay, but he's gone, having stopped the bullet by slipping a metal tray under his shirt. Although it wasn't to protect himself, Bruce is just a kleptomaniac.
Vicky and Knox look up the info about Bruce's parents being killed, and she starts putting things together about him. Speaking of the dead parents, Bruce looks back at the file he has about it and flashes back to it. The two robbers who came up to them, one in particular grabbing his mother's pearls.
Mother Wayne looks weirdly disinterested when her pearls are taken.
Oh, you probably got a whole drawer full of them.
Well, yes, I do.
The two parents are shot with the shooter, a younger Jack Napier, asking the question to him.
You ever dance with the devil by the pale moonlight?
Jack Napier, huge King Harvest fan.
The flashback is interrupted by Vicky arriving in the cave, Alfred having let her in. Is this what you were going to tell me at the apartment when the Joker came? You're him, aren't you? The Batman. Asking him in the Batcave if he's Batman is a special kind of stupid.
Hey, hang on now, it could still be Alfred.
Yes, I admit it. I am Batman.
I've loved you every night since I met you, but I don't know if I can love you dead.
So you're at least open to it?
I can't help you with that. I wear a cape. You take pictures. It's not a perfect world.
Caped people are not allowed to date photographers.
As star-crossed as Jedi and senators.
With Vicky saying she's just wanting to know if they're gonna try to love each other, Bruce has no answer other than he has to go deal with the Joker. As such, he suits up and heads to Axis Chemicals, blowing the whole place up and killing a lot of people with a fwaquam.
First time I've seen an explosion go fwaquam. However, the Joker wasn't at the plant, flying overhead in a helicopter. He calls down to Batman. The place where my life as the Joker started, but you're down there and I'm up here.
I'm up here and you're down there.
I'm going to the Gotham Bicentennial Festival. You really ought to show up. Since they haven't really established anything about Gotham's Bicentennial celebration or how the Joker hijacked it because it was so in debt, this comes right the hell out of nowhere in the story.
The Joker leads a bunch of parade floats through the streets. Man, we aren't equipped to handle this!
The cops aren't prepared to handle balloons? No wonder Gotham is so crime-ridden. I mean, how can you not handle balloons?
Is that stock footage gonna kill us? The Joker releases money into the streets, but as foreshadowed, they're all dollar bills with his face on them. The balloons are filled with a gaseous form of his poison, and he's using the money to distract people while he murders them all.
Fortunately, Batman flies in to steal the balloons away, much to the Joker's anger. Something about the way he's waving his fist just cracks me up. I just want him to start yelling about them Duke boys!
They also cut down the joke with him shooting Bob the henchman so that he just randomly shoots him in the middle of his rant. The Batplane swings back around, but Joker pulls out a gun with a massive barrel.
It's an 88 Magnum.
The gun shoots down the plane.
Explosive shell. I'm hit. I'm going down. Alfred, if you don't see me again, look for me in Italy.
Vicky, having entered the area with Knox, who has now completely vanished from the story, goes over to the plane wreck to try to find Batman. But the Joker gets to her first. He summons his helicopter to come pick him up at the top of Gotham City Cathedral.
Despite the massive flaming wreck, Bats is really no worse for wear and climbs out. Yeah, just walk off that fiery plane crash. Well, I tell a lie. He stumbles a bit, but still manages to get his second wind as he chases after Vicky and the Joker. It's a huge one too, and no elevator.
Oh my god, so many stairs. I'd like to find whoever invented the stairs and push him down these stairs, just to show him how stupid stairs are.
Once at the top, the Joker uses some acid to force the cathedral's bell to drop. It crashes through the stairs beneath Batman, keeping the police from climbing after them. Man, Quasimodo's gonna be pissed.
Batman reaches the top and deals with the Joker's remaining goons, letting it end with him and the Joker. He repeats the Joker's line about dancing with the devil, but in the comic punches him before finishing.
Never start with the head. The victim gets all fuzzy.
After the two exclaim they made the other, the Joker puts on a pair of glasses. You wouldn't hit a man with glasses, would you?
Why not? He and I hit each other all the time. The Joker pulls both Batman and Vicky over the edge of the roof, the two just barely managing to hold on. His helicopter arrives as the two manage to pull themselves up to a parapet. However, Batman's not through with the Joker. What's that? Suppose the media would label it a batarang. Yeah, because that's what it's called.
Why did you think they would call it that? Have they been nicknaming everything else you have up to this point? He snags the batarang around the Joker's leg and attaches the end of it to a stone gargoyle, which gets pulled off the roof with him, along with crumbling the roof under Vicky and Batman. The added weight makes the Joker fall to his death. And yeah, to their credit, the artwork of them falling is pretty good. Batman and Vicky swing into the cathedral as the police examine the Joker's body, which still seems to be laughing. They find a box on him that is causing the laughter. I knew it, the Joker was a phony the whole time. He never laughed for himself!
They also somehow find Batman's body too? But no, it's just a deleted scene from the movie where Knox is wrapped up in the cape and cowl for some reason. How did Bruce find Knox? How did he even get down there without anyone noticing to grab the body and then strip off said cape and cowl? Why is he leaving the cape and cowl with them since it can be examined for evidence of who he is? This is compounded by a shot of Bruce half-dressed running away. Sure, the scene was rightfully deleted from the movie, but it makes one question. Why was it ever made to begin with?
Soon enough, Gordon has to announce to the world that indeed, Knox isn't Batman. Man, this is gonna feed conspiracy theorists for years. Gordon also got a letter from Batman, announcing that he'd be there for Gotham if they ever need him. And how do they call him? With the bat signal, of course! Except it's projected on a building instead of the clouds, so the people in that tower are probably a little pissed off.
Vicky starts walking away from Knox. Vicky, aren't you covering this press conference? No, I'm gonna disappear for a while. They wrote me out of the second movie, so yeah, you're not gonna see me for a while. And so our comic ends with Alfred letting Vicky into Bruce's car, telling her that Bruce might be a bit late.
In the movie, she said she wasn't surprised, but here she looks kinda pissed while she says it. I'm not surprised. That bum-ass jerk is never on time. Yeah, that's right. Tell the media it's called a batarang, you jackass!
And of course, there's Batman swinging off for our final page.
Where's he flying to? Does he actually think there's an emergency? And that was Batman, the official movie adaptation.
This comic is okay, but it suffers from the same problems a lot of movie to comic adaptations do. It is, for the most part, perfectly serviceable. The artwork is pretty solid by comic legend Jerry Ordway that captures all the actors' likenesses perfectly. But of course, like most other adaptations, it cuts out things that are kind of important. It doesn't ruin the whole story, but it creates larger plot holes by their absence. As it is, it manages to get the whole story out in the equivalent of 3 issues, but it feels like this one is one where an extra few pages would have helped fix some of the issues.
As someone who doesn't really read comics or review them regularly, this seemed okay. Still, in the end, just stick to the movie. It's a bit goofy, a bit dated, but it's got the right atmosphere for a Batman movie, and the acting is great, knowing how to be over the top at the right times and when to be subdued.
Next time, we start 3 Patreon-sponsored reviews of comics, no less. First up, the first 2 issues of Ultimate Iron Man Volume 1.
I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy, remember it, so you don't have to.
I'm Linkara. I don't have an end-of-episode catchphrase. Credits now.
Gun.